Do you really need a website for your business? As the founder of a marketing and web design agency, my default answer is yes. But that's not 100% true all of the time. In fact, you might be hurting yourself by investing too much too soon. In this episode, we're going over when is the right time to invest into a website for your business. Today, we are talking about when is the right time to invest into a website for your business. I will say I think every business should have a website, but when is the right time to invest into a professionally done website, one where you didn't necessarily do it yourself, right? I think it really kind of comes down to a few things, and one of those things is what type of business are you, and what is your business objective with the website? If you are an e-commerce business, then you're not going to survive very long without having a website, right? If you're selling something online, if people need to go online to get something from you, to fill out a form or to do something to get information, you're going to need a website. You're going to need a placeholder. You're going to need a place. If you are a business that, let's say, is selling some high ticket item and it's B2B and you get most of your work from referrals and maybe LinkedIn, and they don't really need to see anything or validate you and get credibility from you through a website, then maybe it's not that, right? Maybe you don't need one. However, I would recommend that you do have one because the purpose of a website should be to build credibility and to drive your website viewers to take action. So 99% of businesses out there, that's what you need. You need credibility and you need your viewers to take some form of action. So, really, it's what role does your website need to play in your business? So, like I said, does it need to build credibility? And is it doing that? And is it driving customers to take action? So, do you need your website to do that? And is it doing that? So that is some things to really think about when it comes to, what level of website you need. So the other thing is, where are you at? What phase of business are you in? So if you're just starting out, then it probably doesn't make sense to go spend $5,000, $6,000 on a professionally built agency website that, might really do the job, but maybe you need to really kind of figure out who you're serving, how you're serving them, and get things, kind of sorted out before you invest all of this into a website. The other thing that I see people do with a website and even their logo and everything else is it's kind of like this roadblock to getting started, right? It's almost more of a mindset thing. Like they're putting all of this stuff in front of them to kind of postpone the actual launch, the actual I'm going live, and it's kind of like this, kind of avoiding that fear. So they'll put that website, they'll put that logo, they'll put all the business cards, they'll put all of this stuff, all of this busy work in front of just starting the business. So in that case, absolutely not. You do not need a website. Start your business and start getting out there. Don't let your website, don't let your logo, don't let any of these things hold you back from starting. So in that case, no, don't do it. Don't even maybe just go get your own little website if you have to do something, but don't even let that hold you back. You don't need a website to start your business. Now, let's say you have started your business and it's just, you're not getting traction and you're not able to get that credibility across to new viewers. Okay, now it makes sense to I need to level up my online presence so people have more trust and I have more authority. So now it makes sense to have a website, invest into a website. When you're ready to take it to the next level, when you want to start doing some extra marketing, and you need some forms, and you need to start tracking things, and you need to connect Google Analytics to see who your audience is, and you need to install pixels because you're running ads. If you're going to run an ad, you have to drive them somewhere. So having a website, now you're taking your business to the next level. So now you need to invest into a website. So now what are some considerations? So do you do it yourself or do you hire somebody? Well, if you hire somebody, if you have the budget, then you should definitely just hire somebody, right? So we're all good at things. And then there's some people that really focus on certain things, that they're good at. So hire the people that are good at what they do and let them do what they do. Now, there's a ton of tools out there that will allow you to build your own website. And that is probably, I think every business owner should at least start with building their own. So at least they understand what goes into it. So that would be whether you are, going to invest into an agency to do it or doing it on your own. If you have the budget, then hire somebody to do it, regardless. Don't waste your time doing it on your own if you have the budget. If you don't have the budget, then now you need to weigh it out. Okay. So some considerations when getting a website. One is owning it versus renting it. So if you hire an agency to build out your website, make sure they're building it on a WordPress platform, or I would say a platform that at the end of the day, you own it. Now, I don't just necessarily mean like them owning it versus you owning it, but it's on a platform that you have control over versus like Wix or Squarespace or some of these other ones that I can't think of. Even Shopify, which I think Shopify is a great option for e-commerce, but you don't own those, right? So if Shopify crashes, your website crashes. If Shopify or Wix or Squarespace gets bought out and changes, goodbye, whatever, or not goodbye, yeah, it's a little dramatic, but you know what I mean? Like, you don't have control over the environment. If you wanted to move it to a different hosting, if you wanted to do something, you can't do that. It's their hosting. If you want to make certain changes that they don't allow for, then you can't do that. If you want to get into the back-end code and do something, you can't do that because they own that. Unless there's some plugin or some way that they allow you to do it. So there's the limitations. So that is really like choosing the right platform. I would always recommend just going with WordPress. I know there's some other ones out there that are really good, but I like WordPress because it is highly supported. It has a ton of options and plugins, and you can do anything with it. So then you can take that website and put it wherever you want. You own it. You can put it on your server. You can have someone else put it on their server, and then they can take it and expand upon it and do different things with it. Versus if it's just Wix, then it'll always be Wix, and you can only do what Wix will allow you to do. So, okay. The other thing to think about when you go to get your website built, either by an agency or yourself, is the design of it and the content, right? So the cool thing with like Squarespace is they have a ton of like templates that you can just use and install and have a great design. Perfect. What they don't have is content, right? So this is where you will screw up that beautiful template that you just downloaded because your content doesn't fit into the mold that template was created for. So you also need to come up with this content, which is the one thing in every web design project that everyone just kind of like doesn't realize how much work is involved. So the content. So come in with a sitemap and what the content is going to be on that website. The content would also be images and your logos and all of that stuff. When it comes to who to hire, there's a lot of options, and you got your agencies, you got your local freelancers, you got people on Fiverr, you got overseas. You can spend $50 on a website. You can spend $300 on a website. You can spend $1,000, $2,000, $5,000, $6,000, $8,000, $10,000, $20,000. It doesn't stop, and it's all over the place. What I would say is you need to hire someone you trust. See their work. Know that they have, done business. Look at the agreement, right? Like, make sure there is an agreement. Know what you're getting and what the terms are. So that's, any established person that's going to build your website will have those because they want to protect themselves and have a clear understanding of what they're doing and what you're getting and what you're paying for. A typical time frame for a web design would be 6 to 8 weeks. It can be a lot faster and it can take a lot longer. But on average, I would estimate about 6 to 8 weeks for a typical website. Again, it can be faster than that. And then investment, like I said earlier, you can spend a very little amount or you can spend a lot. I would not spend, the top of the range. I wouldn't, if you just need a simple website, maybe, spending, $20,000 on a simple website isn't in your budget, in your best interest, but maybe hiring that person off of, Fiverr or Upwork for $500 to do it might not be the best idea either, because you're going to end up spending more time managing and redoing and wasting your time trying to get it right. So I would go into the middle. I think that's the best place to go. All right, so there you have it. That is knowing when the right time to invest into a website and some considerations to make. I want to talk about, before we sign off here, I want to talk about some changes we have coming up first of the year to the podcast. We are coming out with a new name and a new format, all of this to enhance the value that we bring to you to improve your experience with this podcast. So all of these changes are going to be coming in the first part of January of 2023. And episode 90 to be exact, so stay tuned for that. Also, as a promo to that new podcast changes that are coming out, and as a Christmas gift to you, we are opening up our DIY website course, the Wealthy Website, which is basically a video course that you can take on your own time, where we walk you through the exact steps we take on building a website. And it's super simple to do. We go through the technical stuff and make it easy, and we go through the design stuff, make it easy. We go through the content stuff, make it easy. Go through the launch, and we make it all easy, of course. So this is a beta soft launch, and it's 100% free until the end of January. So all we ask is your honest feedback and a testimonial. So if it sucks, then we want to know. If it's fantastic, we want to know that too. So you'll have full lifetime access to the course and all of the resources and the private Facebook group and community. After the launch, I think we're going to be pricing it around the $495 mark, I think. So anyway, if you'd like to take advantage of this, you can check it out at thewealthywebsite.com and use promo code GRINDANDGROW when you check out. And that is grind and spelled out grow. Grind and grow. I'll put all of this into the show notes so you can get everything you need there. Yeah, and if you've enjoyed this episode, please leave us a review or at least a star rating. It just takes 10 minutes, or not 10 minutes. It takes about 10 seconds. And anyway, we'll see you in the next episode.